Hi, this is Monica Warren and you're watching the norming video for 3rd grade science for CA2. If you open up the exemplar, you will see the scoring rubric that looks like this, first off, with the possible points listed off to the side, as well as within the rubric. I'm going to leave the scoring rubric up on this side so we can reference it. As you scroll down with the exemplar, what you'll find is different point levels that scholars may receive for answering different things. The very first question asks scholars to name one trait that the dog might pass on to its puppies. And so it's worth up to 2 points. They only need to list one trait, so they can really list anything from its fur color or its fur texture, how big it is, how big its tail is, its ears, its paw size, anything like that. That would give scholars the first point. But then there's a second part that says, explain why this trait is passed on. And so in order to get the 2 points, scholars must note that it is because it is an inherited trait. They can give lots of examples, more than one's okay, but they only need to say it would pass on its fur color because it's an inherited trait. If they only say something like they'll pass on a certain trait, but they don't mention that it's an inherited trait, they only get the 1 point. And then if there's no answer or they don't understand at all what traits would be passed on or that it's an inherited trait, they would get 0 points for number 1. Moving on to number 2. Number 2 is a question about adaptation. So it's talking about this Arctic hare and what are 2 ways that the hare adapts to its environment. This question is also worth 2 points. They have to answer 2 ways to get the 2 points. So they really have lots of options. It can be the fur helps keep it warm or hold in the heat because it is very cold in the Arctic. The fur is white and helps blend in with the snow. It is camouflaged from predators. The fur turns brown in the summer. The hare has orange hind legs that helps it get through the snow and search for food and run from predators. So any of these, as long as they have 2, they'll get the 2 points. If they only have one example, so if they say something like its fur keeps it warm, then that would only receive 1 point. And there's no answer or no correct answer, showing that the scholar maybe doesn't understand how this hare has adapted to its environment, they would receive 0 points for that, for number 2. And then the last question down here is with a total of 2 points, and it is a diagram of a flower, and it just asks scholars to describe 2 functions of the roots. So the roots are right down here. So there's a number of different answers they can have. For example, the roots support the plant, the roots anchor the plant, the roots hold the plant in the ground, the roots absorb water, the roots take in water, send water to leaves, take in nutrients, store food, etc. The one answer that we get pretty common for this question that should not be taken is that the roots take in soil. The roots aren't taking in soil, they're taking in nutrients from the soil. So if they only describe one function, they'll only get 1 point. If they describe the 2, they'll get 2 points for the last question on the constructed response. I know there's a lot of places where scholars will write in their own answer. So please, if you have any questions about a response and how to grade it correctly or whether it receives half credit, if it's partially right, if it's completely right, feel free to post in the discussion board what your question is or what the response is and how you should go about grading it. And I will get back to you, or the CTL would be happy to respond to you. Thank you so much.